What's going on, everyone? We are back with another video, and today we are going to see what was the best super team of the 2000s. So I put basically the 7 best teams, not necessarily just teams in general, but what most people would consider a super team of the 2000s, and we're going to see who's the best one. So we're going to start off with the 07-08 Celtics. They had Rondo, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and Kevin Garnett. I mean, that's pretty disgusting big four right there. This isn't prime Rondo, though. I want to say prime Rondo probably came like a couple years later. Yeah, this is what we're running with. We got the 2012-2013 Heat, which is another team that people consider to be the first actual super team, with LeBron teaming up with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. People like to hate on LeBron, so maybe that's why they consider this to be the first super team. I mean, you could definitely consider it LeBron being basically the best player at the time. You can 100% consider this the first super team. What do we got? Who's our next team? The 2000-2001 Lakers. This Lakers team was absolutely just so ridiculously dominant with Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. In terms of whether this is actually a super team, most people would consider a super team as like two, superstar caliber players with a third, basically all-star. I don't know if you would consider this a super team, but just for how dominant Kobe and Shaq were, two basically like you could consider both of them top 5 players of all time for sure. Being on the same team, in their primes. I mean, I wouldn't even consider this Kobe's prime yet, but just for how dominant he was at this age, you could definitely consider it a super team. We also have the current day Nets with James Harden teaming up with Kyrie and Kevin Durant. This is definitely going to be a pretty exciting team. You also have the addition of, like Blake Griffin. I don't consider that big of a move as other people considered, but they do have DeAndre Jordan also. So we'll see how that plays out. I actually want to give him more minutes. I don't know the minute distribution in real life, but I definitely want to give him more minutes than he's currently getting. Then we got the 04-05 Spurs. Most people don't consider the Spurs to have been a super team. I think they were just a very dominant team, but they do have the best, power forward of all time. And in no way is Tony Parker even a top 5 point guard of all time. Probably not even top 10. Manu Ginobili basically being the best 6th man of all time. Basically allowed the Spurs to be what they were. But for how dominant they were for how long, and those three, sticking together for so long, I have to put them up there. Maybe not super team, but borderline super team. But I definitely wanted to put them up there for how dominant they were during the 2000s. Then we got the 11-12 Thunder. Personally, I don't consider this a super team because this was before the prime of Westbrook and Harden. Durant, I think this was his MVP season. You could obviously say this was his prime. In the early to mid 2010s. I think his prime was really long, obviously. But James Harden and prime coming after he left OKC. Westbrook's prime being near the end of Kevin Durant's term with OKC till like the first or second year he was gone. Probably like that MVP season was basically at the end of his prime. I wouldn't consider this a super team by any means. They also do have Serge Ibaka, obviously. I think he's overrated at 87 though. But it is what it is. A lot of people want to say it because it is one MVP and then 2 future MVPs, but it was before their prime, so I don't consider that a super team, but it is what it is. And then we have arguably the greatest team of all time. Record-wise, no, but, if you look at the team, Steph Curry and Kevin Durant being those, top 5 players currently when they were playing together. I mean, I'd still say they're both top 5 players, obviously. But them being together, the difference between this team and that Lakers team is the fact that you have another top 3 shooting guard in the league, with basically the defensive player of the decade, basically. At least of the past like 5-6 years, he's basically been the most consistent defensive player. So they did just the combination of all four of those guys just makes that team probably better than any other team, and so they're probably going to be my favorite to win the finals. But, you know, 2K, they're always tripping. You never know what's going to happen. But I'm definitely excited to see what is the best super team of all time, or of the 2000s. All right, so Shaq ends up winning MVP at 29 and 15. So if you're wondering if he would be dominant in the league nowadays, you have your answer. Manu Ginobili, obviously, he had to win 6th Man of the Year. LeBron, Defensive Player of the Year. This was just, yeah, his prime was just ridiculous. 31, 10, and 8.5. That's ridiculous, bro. His efficiency is just ridiculous. Steve Kerr as Coach of the Year at 59 and 23. Wow. I was thinking 50 and 32 was really low. The Celtics being that, but if the best record was 59 and 23, I don't think that's that low. Luka gets on the All-NBA first team along with, you know, the Westbrook, LeBron, Tim Duncan, and Shaq. Then the All-NBA second team has Kevin Durant. And then the third team has Steph, Kobe, and KG. Defensive teams, Dwayne, LeBron, and Shaq. And that's it for that. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 teams. The Heat aren't there. Who's not there? The Thunder's there. The Thunder's there. So that's 5. Spurs? The Spurs aren't there. Oh my God. 2K is wilding out right now. We had the Nets. We got the Celtics. The Heat go 40 and 42, man. Dwayne Wade, LeBron, and Chris Bosh together, man? Wow, bro. 2K is off. This 100% confirms how bad 2K is, man. The Lakers going 56 and 26, man. Bro, I just started hearing some buzzing in my ears. Holy shit. That scared the fuck out of me. OKC 4-1, 4-1. Honestly, I didn't think they were going to be as good as the other teams. But at the same time, the Timberwolves at 41 and 41. Nah. Spurs 40 and 42 again. So nobody did like awful, but really 2K? That's crazy. We can look at the player stats real fast. Paul Pierce led the Celtics at 23. Ray Allen and KG both put up great numbers too. Rondo with nearly 9 assists a game. The Heat, LeBron 31. Dwayne Wade 19.5. See, I didn't want the 12-13 Heat. I would have wanted like the 11-12 Heat. I think I would have preferred the 11-12 Heat. Dwayne Wade obviously was getting older. I think at this point he was past his prime. So in my opinion, I would have thought the either first year of the Heat or the second year of the Heat would have been a lot better. So you had a slightly younger Dwayne Wade. But it is what it is. Chris Bosh putting up solid numbers. Ray Allen off the bench. Then we got the 2001 Lakers. Kobe on the second team with 32.5 points and 6.5 assists. Shaq at 29 and 15, bro. I mean, we knew his stats. Whoa. Kobe put up... Kobe shot 61%. And he was on the second. That's MVP, bro. If you're a guard and you're going to shoot 60%, that's MVP. I don't care what Shaq put up. Kobe deserved it. Oh my God. The Nets, Kyrie putting up 29, James Harden putting up 28, and Kevin Durant putting up 21. I think this kind of shows how, I think James Harden obviously really adapted his gameplay. Like, obviously in 2K, we see him as a scorer, which I think 2K needs to update. I think he needs to become a pass first, because I think that's what we've seen with the Nets, you know, with Kyrie and KD being probably 2 of the top 5 for sure. I mean, James Harden is obviously another top 5 ISO player, but James Harden, if you go based off of only shooting, I wouldn't put James Harden top 5, but it's because of his playmaking that he can do that puts him as like as great of a ISO player as he is. But yeah, that's just like 2K needs to fix that, man. Then we got the 04-05 Spurs. The big three putting up over 20 points. Tim Duncan at 16.5. And you know they're good defenders too, man. Come on, bro. 2K needs to stop. 2K needs to stop with this. Is the rest of their team just that bad? I mean, 83-77? That's not that bad. We got the 11-12 Thunder. This KD putting up 29, Westbrook putting up 27, and James Harden putting up 21.5. 16-17 Warriors. I don't know if we went through them, but Steph Curry at 27. Klay Thompson, KD, both 23.5. And then the 07-08 Celtics. Okay, so let's get through these playoffs real fast. Let's simulate the first round, see who goes through. Yeah, we knew that. Nets actually losing the first round to the Knicks, bro. I hate this game sometimes. But Boston makes it through. Golden State makes it through. Beats OKC in 5. And then the Lakers sweep Utah. So we got the second round here, simulate round. I say this every video where the Pelicans make it this deep in the playoffs that they need to fucking stop. 2K needs to stop with this game. It's so fucking bad. It's embarrassing at this point. It's so embarrassing at this point that the 16-17 Warriors are losing to the Pelicans, man. And it wasn't particularly close, man. Zion, fucking get out of here, man. I'm sorry, man. That's just not happening. That's not happening. 55 free throws, bro. 2K needs to stop. That's not happening in any game. That's not happening. Oh my god. Okay, well, we're rooting for the Lakers now. Five games. 21-point blowout. Zion's dropping 44 on Shaq. So, apparently the Pelicans are the best super team of all time. That is crazy. I mean, I guess it will go to the Lakers since they did make it the furthest in the playoffs, but you could also say the Warriors because they did have the best regular season record. I'd obviously put it to Golden State. The amount of talent that team had, I don't think it's any surprise. 2K is just so fucking stupid. But let me know what you guys think. What you guys think was the best super team of the 2000s, or of the go of the 2000s and then go 2010s. Who was the best of each decade? Again, Warriors probably 2010s for me. 2000s, I couldn't watch them, but for how dominant, or I didn't watch them, I was too young. But for how dominant the Lakers were, you probably have to get it to the Lakers. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.